Hello and welcome to my fishing pet guide or advice on how to obtain the heron, one of old school RuneScape's skilling pets. Now, like my farming and mining pet guide videos, I can't promise you'll get this thing instantly if you do everything I do in the video, but you will do eventually as long as you don't give up. This is an RNG based grind, so it could theoretically happen at any point, though I like to look at drop rates from a probability perspective, which I personally think is a much better approach when you're grinding an item as rare as a pet. Now, a short word on skilling pet drop rates if you're not aware of how they work. So they do work the same for each skill and they do scale to level as well, though not past 99. In fishing, almost anything you fish has a base chance to give you the pet, and this chance has a formula which I'll put on screen right now, and it is 1 in base chance minus your level times 25. So for example, catching a lobster has a base chance of 1 in 116,129 of giving the pet. So at level 70, that's a 1 in 114,379 chance, and at level 99 that becomes 1 in 113,654 chance. But yeah, for fishing this scaling doesn't make an enormous difference, unlike something like farming. If you do reach 200 mil in the skill and you still don't have the pet, it becomes 15 times more common. This has known to have happened to some extremely unlucky players, though with the methods I'll be showing, it's highly unlikely you'll get even that much XP in your old school RuneScape lifetime. You have a chance to receive the pet every time you successfully catch a fish. Essentially, it's the moment you get the XP drop that you roll for the pet on the very same tick and would receive the red message in the chat box. The only place this is different is Fishing Trawler, where you roll for the pet when the game finishes, and the rate is always the same regardless of level and however you performed during the game. We're going to start with the fastest methods to obtain the pets and also mention ones which balance good XP and good pet chance as well as the AFK ability of them. The fastest method overall of obtaining the fishing pet involves tick manipulation. You'll be catching tuna and swordfish in Piscarillius and doing a 2-tick method requiring level 71. Now, I haven't done too much of this as I don't really like tick manipulation with skilling, and yes, I'm by no means a master of it, as you can see by the footage, but it is the fastest way to get the heron, with the chance at 99 being 1 in 126,410, making it only 84 hours on average. So yes, if you're a fan of tick manipulation, this is a great option, and there's a very good guide for this particular method if you're new, and I will link that in the description. The fastest AFK method of obtaining the pet is fishing Karamwans on Karamja. Requiring level 65 fishing, you need to complete the Taibu 1i trio quest to unlock this, and will need a supply of Karamwanji alongside a Karamwan vessel. You will fish them just north of the fairy ring DKP, and you can access that through your POH, Quest Cape, or another good fairy ring alternative like the Ardy Cloak or the Slayer ring. Karamwans are pretty unique as the spot never moves, so they are 100% AFKable until your inventory is full. Plus, if you have the fish barrel, which is obtained from Temperos, the fishing skilling boss, you can effectively fish 2 inventories at once and AFK for even longer. The catch rate here is very good though anyway, and gets even faster the more you level. And in terms of the pet, the base chance is 170,874, so at 99 that's a 1 in 168,399 chance, and with efficient banking and tallying back to the spot, you can catch between 650 and 800 per hour depending on level, which makes this roughly about 227 hours to get the pet. You'll also get decent XP and decent GP while you do this too, being about 35 to 40k XP per hour and 300 to 400k GP per hour depending on prices of raw Karamwans. So yes, I would highly recommend giving these a try if you'd rather AFK this pet. The next method is Barbarian fishing, which is not a bad way to go for the pet and get super fast XP rates for fishing, but tick manipulation is required to achieve these. You can still do regular Barbarian fishing anyway if you just want the XP and agility and strength gains on the side, but if going for the pet, use either the 4 or 3 tick methods. The chance from barb fishing isn't great, or doesn't sound great anyway. At 99 it's 1 in 424, 479, which is excessively high, but since the catch rate is also high, this makes the heron pet about 257 hours on average when using the 3-tick method. That increases to 342 hours for the 4-tick method, and then 428 hours when just regular barb fishing. So yeah, it's mainly worth doing if you're going to 3-tick it. This next method is anglerfish, and they have the lowest base chance of getting the heron pet in terms of per fish, being 1 in 76,174 at level 99. In terms of hours, it's actually a fair bit longer than any of the other faster methods that I've mentioned on average, but the AFK ability of anglers, I did invent that word by the way, may suit your playstyle well and is perfect for background activities, and you'll catch them in Piscarillius with a regular rod and bait. There are other regular methods that do give a chance to the pet. It's a rather mediocre rate, I'd say, when not using tick manipulation, so we'll just go through those now. First up, it's lobsters, 1 in 113,654 at 99, so about 340 hours without any tick manipulation, so not the worst to be honest, and they've also got a good drop rate of clue bottles, which are a nice addition when grinding for the pet. Sharks look like they have a lower chance of 1 in 79 at 768, but the catch rate even in the fishing guild is very slow, so they're over 500 hours on average. I'll just mention Infernal and Sacred Eels, two methods where you don't have to bank at all. The decent GP per hour compared to the other methods, and yes, not having to bank is pretty nice. But the pet chances from both aren't great, unfortunately. Infernal Eels is 1 in 157,000, 525 at 99, so it's about 450 hours, and then Sacred Eels, that's 1 in 96, 525, so about 422 hours on average. The good for Irons, I would say, in terms of the GP from the Infernal Eels and Zoro scales from the Sacred Eels. There's also Fishing Trawler, and that gives a 1 in 5,000 flat chance and is not affected by the level boost. This is an extortionate amount of hours to hit this drop rate though, so yeah, I don't know anyone who likes doing Fishing Trawler, to be honest, anyway. A few things to add on top of that. Tempros, the fishing skill boss released into the game in March, does have a few rewards that will make going for the pet a bit comfier in some cases. You can't actually get the heron from Tempros, and it does have its own unique pet anyway. The main reward to talk about is the fish barrel, which means you can do 2 inventories without banking and is amazing for AFKing at Karen ones. The Rider's Blessing obtained from the Corendon Key Boss Achievement Diary does not actually increase your pet chance, even though you can obtain 2 fish at once when it procs. Just clearing up a little misconception there. You can still of course use it, although I prefer not to for some methods, as you're technically reducing your rolls of the pet per inventory with something like Karen ones, where the catch rate's very fast anyway, although I do use it for the more profitable fishing methods like eels and anglerfish. Finally, the Fishing Guild gives a +8 invisible boost, so if you're ever doing lobsters or anything that can be done in the guild, you should use that. How and where did I get my pet then? I got my heron at the Karen ones at 15.5 million XP, so I was a little over the drop rate when I looked at the methods I'd used overall. I actually did a lot of different ones as I liked the change of scenery of fishing and wasn't too fussed about the pet until post at 99, so a mixture of Infernal Eels, Sacred Eels and Anglerfish post 99 was what I went for, and then Karen ones when I got the fish barrel from Tempros, as that was just, yeah, amazing. I recoloured my pets blue in the end by doing some Tempros to get the 3000 Spirit Flakes, and personally I prefer this Metamorphosis over the regular heron pet, so that's maybe a good shout if you don't like the regular design. Like any pet grind, this is heavily RNG based. There is no guarantee at any point that you will just get the pet, as they say, just get the drop. Some people will get it very early, and believe me, I did used to shake my head at those people getting it off fly fishing at level 30. Others will go very high on the other hand, which balances that out, I guess you could say. Your probability of getting the pet does increase though the more fishing you do, which is how I prefer to look at drop rates, or think of it like this: if you give up, if you stop fishing, you're definitely never going to get the pet. Feel free to check out my other pet guide videos on the farming and mining pet, but otherwise good luck on your heron hunting, and I will see you in the next video.